Hey guys, so we're starting our chapter on lipids. So this is chapter 15. Our first section just introduces what lipids are. So lipids are a family of biomolecules which are soluble in organic solvents but not in water. So it's uh, a specific type of biomolecule that's completely not soluble. So it's a solid, or I mean, it could be a liquid, but it's not soluble in our body. So pretty much all this chapter talks about is the different kinds of lipids and introduces them and what they are, so that in the subsequent chapters we can talk more in depth about their properties and stuff like that. So the first thing is that lipids are distinguished into two main subcategories. We have fatty acids and we have steroids. So I'm going to start with steroids first because they're faster. But steroids have this general structure where they have the four rings to them. So it's the only kind of a lipid that is not based off of a fatty acid. It has what's called a steroid nucleus, and it cannot be hydrolyzed into smaller pieces like you'll see on the other side of our chart. So these have pretty unique properties in terms of what they do in our body, but they're still lipids because they're almost completely organic in nature. So they don't have, they have mostly carbons is what I'm saying by organic. They're mostly carbons and hydrogens. Okay, so the other side are these fatty acids over here. So fatty acids are where you have the super hydrophilic, meaning it loves water, this polar end and this non-polar side chain. So it's a fatty acid is a carboxylic acid with a really long side chain of carbons. These fatty acids can then are what makes up these four subclasses of lipids. So waxes, triacylglycerols, glycerophospholipids, and sphingomyelins are the four different types. And these are kind of the general, what they look like. So waxes are just a fatty acid next to a alcohol, so it makes an ester. Triacylglycerols or triglycerols is what they're more commonly referred to, is a glycerol. So this alcohol that has three different alcohols on it, with fatty acids attached, or you can have glycerophospholipids, which are pretty similar, but then we have some phosphorus and an amino alcohol. And then sphingomyelins has a special core on its own. And the one thing in common for everybody to remember with all of these down here is that they have esters as their functional group. So they have esters, meaning they can be hydrolyzed. Hydrolyzed meaning split by water. To make a fatty acid. Okay, so that's the intro to lipids and just what generally they are, and we'll talk about each of these more in depth as we go through the chapters, or through the sections technically.